Hi, I'm Ashish Mathur. Welcome to a short video on the practical usage of Microsoft Power Query. In this video, I'd like to show you how you can transpose unique entries from a column into a row, ignoring blank cells. For other MS Excel solutions, you may visit my website ashishmathur.com. So here's what the data actually looks like. If I were to go to the formula-based solution sheet, I have a single column with a few names listed down over here. And as you can see, there are some blanks appearing in this range first, and next there are some entries being repeated multiple times. So A appears thrice over, once here, second here, and third over here. Now I'd like to simply transpose these entries into a single row starting from column C rightwards. And as you can observe, in this particular range which I want transposed, I'd like to, number one, ignore the blank cells, and second, I'd like only the unique entries to appear. So as you can see, the result is A, S, R, W, and ST, which is A, S, R, W, and ST. The duplicates have been ignored, and so have the blanks. Now, one solution to this problem is to actually write a fairly lengthy array formula and copy that rightwards, and that gets me exactly what I'm looking for. The result would be dynamic, as in when the entries keep changing over here, the result over here keeps changing as well. So far, so good. Now, I'd like to actually discuss with you a Microsoft query-based solution to this problem. So I've simply copied the data over here onto a new worksheet, and let's see what the steps for solving this problem would be. So I'm going to select this range. I head on to Power Query, and under Excel data from table, where is the data for your table? A1 to A3. I need to adjust this range to include my entire data set. Does my table have headers? Yes, it does. I click on OK, and I get my data over here. Now, I'd like to first of all ignore the null cells over here. So I'm going to uncheck the box for null. And secondly, I'd like to remove duplicates as well. So I right click, I click on remove duplicates. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to right click over here and insert an index column, which will essentially be a running count of numbers for each single name mentioned over there. And I'll reposition the columns over here as well. Now, let's try to actually see as to what kind of a query can one write to transpose data dynamically. So if I were to go to view and I click on advanced editor there, so that's the M language query that's already gotten generated in the background for whatever steps I've performed. And let's now simply say that I would like to create a pivot table from this column over here, and I'd like to list down all the distinct entries from the same column above, and so essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to pivot data from the reordered column data set, which is the same name as what I have over here, and I want to pivot the data for each change in the index column of the reordered columns database above. And this is the column where I need to do down the search, where I need to do the search for the unique entries, and that's the names which I ultimately would like to pivot. And I give a comma there, and instead of in reordered columns, I simply do a pivot here. It says no syntax errors have been detected, so it looks like it should be working. I click on this and it says cannot convert the value 0 to type text. So let's see what the problem now is. Now if I go back to the step where I actually inserted the index column, it's somehow saying that cannot recognize the number 0 there. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to right click here. I'll say insert custom column, insert, I'm going to call that custom for now, where I'll simply do a index plus 1. And I don't need the index column anymore. I'm going to remove that. Right click. I'm going to rename this column the same as what I had last time, index. And let's place it back where we had it earlier. Okay. Now, having done this, if I now go back to my advanced editor, and now if I double click on pivot, it says cannot convert the value 1 to type text. Okay, so let's try to correct for this one as well. Now, if I go back to recorded columns, essentially it's not being able to do the conversion if the value stays as a numeric. So if I were to right click over here and simply say change type to text over here, and now if I were to double click on pivot, I get exactly what I'm looking for. What table name do I want to give to it? Let's say transpose data. Do I want to load it to the worksheet? Yes, I would. And every step that I have performed has all gotten recorded over here. If I wish to edit anything, I can simply double click my way through. I simply head on to home now, apply and close, and a new worksheet gets created with my desired data set. If I'd like to show this alongside my original data, I simply can cut this data, head back over here, paste it over here, and let's just compare the results. ASRWST over here, and from my formula based solution as well, I had ASRWST over there. Now to quickly cross check whether this is working fine or not, if I were to enter QW here and right click and refresh, I get a ASQWRW and ST. And if I were to enter an S over there, which is another duplicated entry, let's see what actually happens. I get a ASRW and ST, which is ASRW and ST. So I've been able to transpose without writing a single formula data from a single column to a single row, ignoring blanks and ignoring duplicate entries using Power Query. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it.